like awful music. Hey, hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Fun Fans Podcast. I'm your host, James Diller. With me, as always, my co-host, Bailey Jackson. How you doing, Bailey?
I'm good. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy Sunday. We're doing better than most of our friends might think, and we have a great show for you today. We're not going to need any therapy. We're going to talk to some incredibly inspirational guests that we're going to introduce to you here in just a second. We'll eventually get around to sharing our thoughts on the heartbreaking loss to FSU, and of course we'll talk about our tailgating, which was awesome as always. But first, the Fun Fans are a proud part of the Fanboys Fangirls Sports Podcasting Network. If you're a true sports fan, the Fanboys Fangirls is perfect for you by various nationwide podcasts and other sports media at thefanboys.com and all forms of social media. The Fun Fans Podcast is the official podcast for Clemson fans.
And let's not forget Reuben's Food, Sports Spirits, and Catering, the best wings around, with 2 locations in the upstate, 1083 Batesville Road in Greer and 11028 Anderson Road in Piedmont. Find them at ReubenC.com, and it's simply a great place to eat for all sports fans. So thank you, Reuben's.
Yeah, thanks, Reuben's. That's some really good stuff. All right, now that we got all the business and technicality stuff out of the way, we're even more excited now, but based on what we talked about before we got started here, to have the ladies of United Row with us. And with all my clicking, I'm gonna get back up there in a second and make sure I'm gonna put the website up the whole time. Anna and Jenny, these ladies are former Clemson rowers. They're not from South Carolina though, Bailey, just in case you pick up on that in a second. These ladies plan to row all the way across the Pacific. That's an ocean. You taught geography for a while.
I did. Yep.
So that's the whole thing. And they're not doing it just for fun. They're raising awareness and money for Hear Her Roar. And we talked a little bit before, but see, that's Bailey has a female athlete at Clemson, and my daughters went to Clemson, and my youngest plays volleyball and stuff. So definitely something that we want to support. And it's a great cause. We're going to do what we can to help them. They need support and they need some money. So let me get their website up there before I forget about it. And we'll get right into talking with the ladies here, Anna and Jenny. See, their names went away as soon as I did that. See, and there we just talked about, remember. How are you ladies doing this evening?
Good. Thanks for having us on.
Doing great. It's a great Sunday, and we're excited to be here.
Oh, it's great. It's a great Sunday. And we appreciate you guys being on here, because this is definitely I'm going to skip right to what they told us. We might have them back already while they're on the Pacific. So just, bookmark all this stuff, like, follow, share, and that's reason enough. Me and Bailey we're amateurs. We do an average show. We think it's pretty good, but who knows? But being able to maybe see these ladies out in the Pacific during their little trip, during their big trip, that's going to be awesome. So we appreciate you being with us. I'm going to be quiet and let Bailey ask the next question.
Yeah, so just give us an update, or give the folks out there an update of your trip and, everything that goes into planning a trip like that, and just any details you want to share.
So I guess to start off, a little bit of background about us. We are Team United Row. Myself, I'm from the U.S., and Anna is from the U.K., so we are united in that respect, but also united with our supporters, everyone who's making this trip possible. It is just Anna and I in that boat for those 60 plus days, but it really takes a village to get to the start line. So we're really excited to get the community involved at Clemson and our local hometowns, and really take this on together. So where we are at with the expedition right now, so we've been, at this campaign for almost 2 years now, and we're 9 months to the start. So race start is June 12th, 2024, and we'll be taking off from Monterey Bay, California, and rowing 2,800 miles to Kauai, Hawaii. So we just got our boat actually right after Wayne's Orange and White Gala. So we headed right to Charleston, South Carolina, and we picked up our boat, Axl Rose, and towed her all the way down to Florida. And right now what we're really working on is getting Axl Rose kitted out, doing some repairs, getting all of our equipment so we can take her out and do some of those longer training rows, which will be really essential to our preparations. And then we're also working on getting an ocean rowing coach out here for a week so we can make sure we have all of the necessary skills, preparations, knowledge we need to have a successful crossing.
That's awesome.
My shoulders are sore just thinking about it. I cannot imagine what in the world.
I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm getting dizzy.
Sorry.
Fix camera. Sorry.
It's kind of like seasickness. It's just
yeah.
This will help you get ready for your trip.
Yeah, it's training. We're all training. So, what in the world made you guys think that you wanted to do this?
Yeah, so it's not every day that you wake up and say, I'm just going to plan to row across an ocean. And that idea has to come from somewhere, but everybody has a dream in their life of what they want to do. And that was one of those things that seemed totally impossible until you kind of break it down and find the community to support you in that dream. So as Jenny mentioned, we actually met at Clemson on the rowing team, and we were roommates and teammates and literally just spent every single waking hour together. We had so much fun. And on the water as well, we were kind of the two who was always pushing our Coach Stephen. We're like, Coach, how long can we stay out today? Like, let's try and row further. And that actually sparked the question. So what is the furthest that someone can row? And at the time, it was actually the Atlantic Ocean. So 3 years ago, my brother and I rowed across the Atlantic Ocean. We were the first ever brother and sister to do this, and it took us 43 days, 15 hours, and 22 minutes. And that was 3,000 miles from La Gomera in the Canary Islands, which is just south of Spain, all the way across the Atlantic to the Caribbean to Antigua. And then, life kind of happens. You've got a day job, you have family commitments and stuff, and then I got back to land and was just doing my work. COVID hit, and then I was sitting in Flagstaff, Arizona, a place I thought I would never end up in my life, especially as you can tell by my awkward accent. I'm originally from England. And my neighbor at the time just happened to be Jenny. And I was like, something has brought us together. Like, there is something out there that wants us to be together. And Jenny is that person who you can pick up the phone to and say, hey, Jenny, you want to go run a marathon or climb a mountain? And she's just literally a yes woman. And God love her for it, because she's the best. And we were roommates or we were neighbors at this time, and just doing all the fun extreme adventures you can do up in Flagstaff, Arizona. And then I texted Jenny one day, Jenny, do you want to row the Pacific with me? And like I said, Jenny said yes. And crazy as she is for it, but at least we're serious. And that brings us to today, where we've launched United Row. And now we're about to spend 60 plus days out there in the Pacific.
Hey, James, would you like to row across Lake Keowee with me?
Anything with you, Bailey. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He's your yes man.
I don't even know if we could do that. So what do you think the biggest obstacle is going to be to this trip?
So what really separates this row from any ordinary row is the conditions we'll be expected to perform in. So, at Lake Hartwell, we had some, we got waked a few times. There was rough waters, we had to go through some bridges. But overall, the conditions are pretty standard. You're out there for, a set amount of time. But on the Pacific, we're out there and we're facing storms. We're facing 60-foot waves. We're facing wildlife, dehydration, salt sores. We will be, sleep deprived. We're essentially rowing in 2-hour intervals around the clock, aiming to keep the boat moving 24/7. So it's really those conditions that make it the challenge that it is. And that's also what makes it exciting, right? So I know Anna has shared stories about the dark nights across the Atlantic, and those can be terrifying, but they're also something that can be quite beautiful. Having the stars above you and it just being you out there, that's something to look forward to as well. So despite all of the conditions, it's just a matter of finding beauty in those harsh elements.
Yeah, I'm sure some of the calm, peaceful nights will be kind of cool, but 60-foot waves, 60.
Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be awesome. But and y'all are going to do great. And we're definitely going to keep up with the journey from here on out and help you guys and get other folks to help. But let's talk for a minute about when you rode at Clemson. Tell us how each of you landed at Clemson and then got to be friends. And there's got to be at least one. Just give us, there's probably a ton, but give us one cool story from when you were both at Clemson together.
Well, as you can tell by my accent, I am from England, and I actually remember the first day I rocked up at Clemson. So I had transferred, and it was January, kind of cold, and I arrived at my dormitory. I got all of my stuff out. I had a paw print, and I was so excited because I had only seen YouTube videos of Clemson, and it was just like the roaring stadium, everything. The school spirit was phenomenal. And I remember my first day of practice, I passed out. My second day of practice, I sprained an ankle. And by this time, I think everyone on the rowing team was thinking, who is this girl who, has come here and claims that she knows how to row? But really, that one person who was there offering me a ride around campus when I didn't have one, offering me to go out to dinner when I didn't even have any American dollars, and paying for my chocolate cupcakes, like that person was Jenny. And it's just fantastic, like that college is a time where you can connect with individuals, you get your studies done, but it's beyond that university time that those friendships flourish forever. And you can call that person up and say, hey, do you want to go and do this crazy thing? And the answer to that is yes. So just meeting Jenny was such a blessing for me in my life. And I'm just so grateful to be able to row with her and be able to be out there in the middle of the Pacific with nobody else around. Like Jenny said, those dark nights when you can't just pick up the phone and call your mom and dad. If you're hungry, you can't just go to this grocery store and get some chocolate Oreos. Like you actually have to rely on that other person in those dark times when you're rowing and you're hitting those waves and you've got salt sauce and blisters all over your skin, just like at Clemson a little bit from those early mornings. But to be able to rely on that other person is huge. So I'm so grateful for Clemson and for it to start and be that foundation for a friendship.
Cool.
And when I think about Clemson, honestly, could not have asked for a better collegiate experience. I went there. I had known nothing about rowing. I was a freshman. I played sports my entire life. So it was pretty athletic, but I didn't even know what a rowboat looked like. But at the same time, I was like, it's probably a good idea that I go and try out for this team. So I remember like the first day of tryouts, I walked probably like 3 miles and got lost along the way. But eventually I show up to these tryouts, and I don't know what happened, but 4 years later, I stuck with it all 4 years. And it was honestly such an incredible experience. The bond you have waking up at 5 a.m. every day with your teammates, spending those early mornings together, those afternoon practices, those weekends when everyone's on spring break and you're training, that's what really builds that bond. And it's something that I'm really grateful for, and something Anna and I were lucky to have. We spent the hard workouts together. We spent the afternoons goofing off together. We spent the afternoons studying. So it really was that full experience, and being able to share that with someone and embrace the ups and downs. And that's what really, made it such a lifelong experience and has made me want to continue to seek out new challenges and do things that test my comfort zone. And that's exactly what this row offers.
Is the boathouse still where it was when we were there? I don't know why it wouldn't be.
It is, yep.
But it's kind of tucked away. If you don't know where you're going, you definitely want to. I used to cut the grass around one summer.
Yeah, when you're a freshman with no sense of direction, it's pretty hard to find.
Yeah, secluded.
Well, So tell us a little bit about what you're going to raise money for. The program at Clemson, Hear Her Roar. Just tell us a little bit about that, and what's the best way we can share that with our listeners.
So we are raising money for Clemson's Hear Her Roar campaign. This is an initiative focused on propelling the future of women in sports, leadership, and education. So, like we've said, we've been fortunate to have that experience at Clemson University and receive scholarship. And without it, I can say I would not have had that opportunity. So really just want to create those resources and opportunities for other females to pursue their dreams and pursue athletics wherever it might be and whatever it might be. Sure, you don't need to row across an ocean, but having access to those resources and opportunities to make your dream come true is really what our goal is.
Very good.
Yes.
So the website is on the screen. It's unitedrow.org, and the Hear Her Roar information is on there. A lot of other information is on there, a place where you can buy merchandise that I guess a portion of those will go straight to you guys. And there's also a donate button up at the top right-hand corner to support these ladies and their cause and what they're doing for women's sports at Clemson. And it's just going to be an inspiration for everybody. So we appreciate having you guys being on here, and we look forward to, we're going to do the best we can. We're going to tell folks to help you out and support you, maybe get some sponsorships. And we're definitely going to keep up with the journey. And it's June when it actually starts the rowing.
Yes, we leave from Monterey Bay on the 12th of June, June 12th, 2024. So mark it in your calendars. We'll be live streaming it from all of our social medias. We're at United Row or at united.row, depending on which ones were already taken. And yeah, we're on every social media platform out there. And also on our website, you'll be able to track us whilst we're out there in the middle of the ocean. So every 4 hours, it will update with our speed, our current location, distance traveled, and then how much further we have to get to Kauai, Hawaii. So all the greetings and all of the support and love and the messages that anyone sends, we actually do get those whilst we're at sea. And any support that can be offered prior to us getting to the start line is much appreciated as well.
That's awesome. And it's 40 some odd. That's going to be the majority of the summer then.
It will be, yeah, until August.
Yep. Nice. All right. Well, thanks again for being on here. We appreciate your time, and we were going to help you out and follow along like we've said. And go Tigers.
Thank you guys so much. Go Tigers.
Yeah. Go Tigers. Good luck.
Thanks.
Bailey.
Yo.
What? Yeah, you asked me to do something. I'm going to say yes, but I might be lying if it's to row across the Pacific.
I can't even imagine like rowing literally across the cove at the lake.
I remember watching those folks, and yeah, I remember looking at the machine and Fike.
Been going, nah.
It's all the way down on the floor.
Well, best of luck to them. It's a great opportunity for everybody to get involved and to help them out, but it's also a really cool story.
That's awesome.
And we needed a cool story today.
We needed a cool story. That's some great inspiration after what happened yesterday. Speaking of what happened yesterday, we lost.
Yep. We could sit here and talk about it. I would love to have I counted 6 plays this season that if Clemson had them back, they're probably undefeated and in the top 6 or 7 in the country. But you don't get them back.
Don't get them back.
You missed a blitz protection on the scoop and score fumble, and then you have an RPO on second down and 1, and instead of you just don't give an option right there. That's all I'm saying. Just hand it off. But anyway, Florida State will take nothing away from Florida State because they found a way to win. They found a way to win last week, and so that's what teams do that are going to be ranked in the top 3 or 4 or 5 at the end of the season.
Without a doubt, I think they probably are they're definitely a top 10 team, playoff team since they got the victory against us. And the way we played Saturday, we're a very, very good team as well. We just need to show that and execute and play that way for the rest of the season. And, maybe chances are slim, maybe they're not, but we could get another shot at them in the conference championship game. Right now, you still never know. There's a lot of football to be played, but Dabo said the same thing that I've said on here, that it's not just turnovers. It's been really bad turnovers. And like it's pointing out the obvious, but the three things, if any one of the three things were that we could have done different, if you go all the way back to the first half, giving up a touchdown in short time at the end of the first half, that was not good, but they're a good team, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Clemson kind of dominated the yardage and played really good defense. And other than the missed field goal, the kicking game was strong. The punt, I mean, Aiden, our former guest, I mean, he punted well yesterday.
He booted the ball.
And, so it's the game you watch and you go, how did we just lose that game?
Right. They never had the lead until overtime.
And honestly, you put a guy you just got in off the street to make a game-winning field goal, that's a tough spot.
It's very tough.
From where we were sitting, I couldn't even tell he missed it, honestly.
It looked good. I put that video on our Instagram, but McLean on the ACC huddle said the same thing you said yesterday. From a fan standpoint, we're talking professional. We're saying the same thing like these other folks said, but from a fan standpoint, how in the world does Clemson football get to a point where they don't have somebody that can make a 30-yard field goal? That's kind of not good, but is what it is. And here's what it was. It was really good football. There were a lot of good catches. Both teams. Those were two very good football teams on the field, and it was a great game to watch. I know if you're just if you're not a Clemson or a Carolina or a Florida State or a rival of Florida State, and you're watching that game, you got some good football, that's for sure. Speaking of another close one that was great to watch and also a heartbreaker, the Notre Dame Ohio State game. Did you watch that one?
No, I was not watching any more football yesterday when I got home. Let me just back up and say I would much rather go to a Clemson game like that than Charleston Southern.
I mean,
I just would. It's just a better game.
Yeah.
It was a great football game.
It was a great football game. And
so Notre Dame, Ohio State,
it was another one. It was good.
They made them kick the extra point. And that extra point swung the betting money like ridiculously.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It was either 2.5 or 3.
Yeah.
And so that extra point made a huge difference that they made them kick.
I didn't know that, but that was good. That was a good game. I was pulling for Notre Dame because, of course, that would help us if they're winning and we beat them when they come to Clemson. Plus, whatever. But it was a good game.
Plus, it was Ohio State.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, let's be honest.
Really good football, really good, execution, the blocking, the carrying, the running, and the pass. I mean, it was just really, really good football. And I hated to see the heartbreaking loss for the Irish. Speaking of not being heartbroken, the Colorado Primetimers, they got hammered.
As it was predicted.
As predicted.
On this show Wednesday night.
Yeah, probably.
And I think the coach, the Oregon coach talking about we're playing for rings and championships and they're playing for clicks, likes, and shares. Yeah. Classic. And he had it recorded.
The fun fans are playing for clicks. We're playing for clicks, likes, and shares.
Absolutely.
Feel free to click, like, and share. Speaking of something you can click, like, and share.
Give Dion credit. What'd he say? We got whooped. We got whooped. But then he says, better get us now.
Better get us. And he's not wrong. I mean, as long as he stays there, they're only going to get better. So that's the thing about Dion, really, like him or not. Everything he said has been on point. So speaking of on point, maybe the Colorado Primetimers need some more energy. Scan this QR code or go to w.gg and enter promo code FUNFANS to get 10% off your energy drink selection. Mine's on the way. I was doing some tracking. It's all natural, right? So it's
I'm gonna have to order me some.
Order you some. It's just on like Donkey Kong. All right. So other notable games real quick. Our friends in Columbia had a big conference win. That was a fairly good. I was getting late. I was getting tired. That was a pretty good game to watch, though. All that stuff about Bama and the quarterback. I mean, whatever. They put Jalen back in. He did the same thing he's been doing. They look, pretty good. They were playing Ole Miss, who's pretty good. Saban knows what he's doing. We don't need to get into that. Everybody spent all that time talking about them playing these other quarterbacks, and you said on here Saban's just doing some coaching stuff and whatever. That's what he did.
Here, why do we have a job doing this? Because people will watch and listen to us.
Yeah.
It's like every other channel. Everybody's got an opinion. The only person's opinion that matters at Alabama is Nick Saban.
Amen. Were there any, and that's my list. Any other games of note? Bailey,
I didn't watch any college football.
I didn't know if maybe you picked up something from some highlights or whatever. But speaking of picking up stuff from highlights, we're gonna come back Wednesday and we're gonna give you our fun, not fun moments of the week. We're gonna preview Clemson, Syracuse, and any other big games. So that'll be this coming Wednesday night at 8:30, our midweek show. But before we let you go, we got to tell you about
Diamond Edge Products. These guys have mastered a diamond laser engraving process, and they can put almost any design on items such as license plates, yard signs, tumblers, water bottles, and much more for a high-quality, forever lasting, custom-engraved product. Check out Diamond Edge Products at diamondedgedproducts.com or email Jaylin, that's Jaylin, at diamondedgeproducts.com. If you have some questions or you'd like to order something, because Diamond Edge Products is an officially licensed partner with the Clemson University.
That's right. Man, we appreciate the ladies from United Road joining us. We're going to make sure to get to their site, and we're going to be supporting them. Next week, we're going to have Lee Newton with us, country music singer. Clemson played their best football yesterday, so this season's only going to get better. Join us Wednesday night for more. Thanks again for checking us out each and every week. Don't forget to click and subscribe for the Fun Fans Podcast YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on all social media, and please share. All archive shows can be found on the Fanboys website and posted along with our Facebook and Twitter. On behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast, Jay Thriller Entertainment, the Fanboys Fangirls Podcast Network, and Bailey Jackson.
And Captain Obvious, who sat right behind us yesterday. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening.